Hello, everybody. Well, as Janine has said, as I am an assistant professor here, and I'm going to try to inspire you a little bit with some of the work that myself and the director of the British Research Center, David Petrino, have been doing with related to human performance. Our center, we're in the rehab department, so we're trying to see our patients or the participants that we see as our champions. We try to see them an athletes. So because we think that rehabilitation is a performance training, that's how we really treat them. So if we're going to talk about human performance very briefly, I don't know if you all know what it is. It has a lot of words. Systematic approach. It's related to improving not only productivity but also the strategy for solving problems, realizing opportunities. The thing is that if you take a few of those things, you come to realize that human performance requires many things. And I believe that I try to put together that maybe there are more of those skills. It requires motivation, inspiration, and also genetics. So human performance is on a spectrum. It can go from people from disability to treating healthy population to make them better. We can perform better, all of us, and also to perform on athletes. So in 2015, we received a call from Red Bull, the Red Bull performance department, and they decided that they wanted to study how the brain of an elite athlete work. So in order to do that, well, we need to flew to LA, and 25 different scientists from all over the globe put their heads together to try to answer this question. If the brain is stimulated, can an athlete go further during the training? So the question was very simple. I have spent the last 10 years of my life doing non-invasive brain stimulation, so studying how inducing some kind of changes in brain plasticity can make humans better. I have target everything in people with disabilities, but also it can be used in people with in normal people. So I'm going to pass like a bunch of images now of what that experience was. Mainly what we did was to do a sham control study using non-invasive brain stimulation, and we were studying many different things and aspects for these elite athletes. They were endurance athletes. And of course, we did respiratory, cardiology, metabolic panels, everything that you can think of. We stimulate their brains to assess what was the connection between that brain and the muscles, because the idea was if we stimulate them, can we trick their brain into thinking that they are not as fatigued as they think of. So we pushed them a lot, and they did not complain. I really want to point out here, this is how human performance starts. So down there is Dr. David Petrino. A few years back, he was putting electrodes in some random athlete leg. Right now, he's the director of innovation at Mount Sinai. That's human performance. So continuing, I just wanted to point out that we use every technology that it was in our hands to test the different aspects of human performance of these athletes. And at the end of the day, what happened, some of these technologies, they're very well known, some others maybe they are not. We even use brain signaling. So right now this person is getting their brain stimulated, and also we are capturing EEG signaling with this cap that they have over there in a velodrome while they were doing different endurance tests. So what happened at the end of those 4 days, 5 days of testing was that our attempt to decrease the central fatigue in these elite athletes, it failed. So the sham and control groups were the same. Actually, we didn't find any differences. We really believe that there are many things that can be done better to try to study central fatigue, for example, in this kind of participants. Maybe we are in need of novel technologies or better technologies to assess or to induce changes that they are so limited. Because if you think about athletes, the range for them to improve their performance is so small. If we are trying to improve any of us, well, at least me, believe me, the range is big. Technology doesn't need to be like too good, but for them, maybe it needs to be much better. So we need to improve the technologies that they are already existed, and also to come up with new technologies. And also, since we are all here, I would really to bring out the question of can artificial intelligence be used to personalize these stimulation protocols that they have been proven that they work in other modalities to optimize how effective they are. Because studying human performance is just allow us to understand better how the human body works. So whatever it is that we learn in elite athletes, that they are definitely a 1%, we can use for the rest of the population or for people with neurological disabilities. So please put your heads together, because we need you to solve this and many other questions that we have. Thank you.